Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well and staying safe during this time. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. Like I said, thank you so much for checking me out. If you haven't done so, please make sure to hit that subscribe button just right below the video. Cool, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. And if you're returning, welcome back. Thanks again for your support. I truly do appreciate having you here.
Right now, we see the number that we need to know about is 390 million XRP have been moved by Ripple and several anonymous users. One has to ask themselves, are we positioning for a potential relist of XRP? Remember, the SEC versus Ripple lawsuit is not a criminal matter at all. It's a civil matter. There is no fraud. There is no criminal charges. Never have been. It is merely a civil case. So we will see if it ends with a fine or no fine. And back to work we go. We'll see. Looking right here, Charles Schwab is launching a crypto economy exchange traded fund. According to the company's filing with the U.S. Securities Exchange Commission, Schwab Crypto Economy ETF will trade on the New York Stock Exchange ARCA. How about that one? It's coming, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to get more evidence of that in just a second. Charles Hoskins decides to take a shot here, and I'm glad that he did. According to a special audit filed by 35 shareholders from Consensus AG, there were fundamental intellectual property and subsidiaries illegally transferred from CAG into a new entity, Consensus Software Incorporated. We followed this story when it broke last week about the shareholders, majority shareholders, calling now for a public audit under Swiss law. I remind people that regardless of the fact that Ethereum used a workaround to file their business license in Switzerland, if you're an American, and if you're an American investor, and you're investing in something, U.S. regulations and U.S. laws apply to you always. Charles Hoskinson wanted to remind everybody here because it's being revealed that J.P. Morgan is the largest holder in Ethereum and Consensus here, it appears. And what he decided to let everybody know is that Cardano, according to Charles Hoskinson, JP Morgan has no stakes in Cardano blockchain, and that neither does it have any presence or control in any critical Cardano infrastructure. Really pointing out what the obvious is here is that Ethereum, as we have been reporting for a long time on this channel, is extremely corrupt. There is no guessing at it, and it certainly is not decentralized. Take a look right here. Visa, MasterCard, and PayPal joined the massive number of companies leaving Russia following Putin's special military operation against Ukraine. That's putting it lightly. It's war, ladies and gentlemen, and this is a list of growing companies that are now really going along with the sanctions. Let's hope that the sanctions provide enough pressure to get them out of that country. Kevin O'Leary has revealed that a group of U.S. lawmakers is working on a policy to open crypto markets to institutional investors. The good news is they are all over it and agree there is tremendous opportunity once they pass policy. Well, look, I read the article here, and what I can tell you is that, look, I love the optimism in Congress. The part that bothers me is that working on a policy to open crypto markets to institutional investors, well, we're retail investors. I understand that the institutional money is deeper than retail money, so I get, and I want institutional money into this space, but don't you dare close the door on us just to open it for them. That much will be a problem, I can tell you. This is a great comment from Jeremy Hogan here. There should be an opt-out of SEC protection form you can fill out, kind of like you can opt out of extended warranties. What do you think? Oh, I think it's a fantastic idea, Jeremy. Yeah, Gary Gensler puts a post up yesterday or 2 days ago. Investor Ed's Investor Bulletin, crypto asset interest bearing accounts. Yeah, well, give me an opt-out button, Gary. That's what I'm talking about. I love the way he lays it out here, too. Hi, this is Gary calling. Have you given any thought to purchasing SEC protection for your accounts? Yes, I have, Gary, and I don't want your protection. You've cost all of us a ton of money with the lawsuit continued because of Jay Clayton at his tenure. Take a look right here, because this is a tell-all right here. I have said this for as long as central bank digital currencies have been announced. It is to catch all. It is to have the regulatory framework that you play around in this crypto world all you want. But when you come out of this thing in the money, you'll be coming out into a CBDC or a stable coin that is heightened prudential supervisory position by the government of sorts. Now, don't believe it. It's still true. But if you want to get back to regular fiat government dollars, this is how it's going to go. Because this is Christine Lagarde, the head president of the European Central Bank. Let's not forget, she was the former IMF managing director. She knows what the plan's going to be. Central banks and banks themselves are not going to become irrelevant. That's not going to happen. Take a listen.
The crypto question that you had. As you know, whenever there is a ban, a prohibition, or a mechanism in place to boycott or prohibit, there are always criminal ways that will try to circumvent the prohibition of the ban, which is why it is so critically important that MiCA is pushed through as quickly as possible so that we have a regulatory framework within which crypto assets can actually be caught in a regulatory framework. And by the way, it's all very well to be in cryptos, but that's not it. You have to move from cryptos to stable coins to eventually fiat currency. Now, there are ways, whether DLT or not, to actually pierce that veil and to make sure that criminal activity is actually pursued and properly dealt with.
And there you have it. I mean, you can't get it any more direct right there from the horse's mouth, right? We're going to make sure that we control this digital space in this digital age. Yeah. That's big pimping right there. Don't like it. Don't believe it. It's still true. And here's something else going on that may scare the daylights out of you the way it does me. U.S. think tank, which is an oxymoron, pushes back against new crypto laws, saying existing security laws are enough. Well, this is the concern, isn't it? Right? Not a long article here, but basically the article makes the argument that Gary Gensler does, that, we could just tuck these things. And of course, they're talking about Todd Phillips, the Director of Finance, Regulation, and Corporate Governance at the Center for American Progress. But it says here, we don't need to recreate the wheel, right? For crypto securities, we already have existing structure in place, and that structure needs to be enforced, which is really Gary Gensler's tone. So look, just to be clear, there is the CFTC, there is the SEC, and some things will be commodities and some things will be securities, like ICOs. ICOs are initial coin offerings. It is the digital version of an IPO. Those are obviously securities. Congrats, Gary. Those are you. You oversee those. But what's scary here is the understanding that we don't know where Gary's going to stop, because up until now, Gary believes everything's a security. I mean, this guy has no limits or bounds. So I can only hope that these U.S. think tank people have got their thinking caps on, because I tell you, at the end of the day, we need, and not we, the world, honestly, and the governments, and the ECBs of the world, the BISs, the Federal Reserves of the world, as much as we know we need it to, they need XRP to get through in the way that it will not be harmed for its full-scale intended use. Take a look here. One United States state is not confused about anything, ladies and gentlemen. It's a big moment here. We see that the state of Virginia has made an offering, and that offering is approved a bill that says that they will allow banks in the state of Virginia to provide crypto services to their customers. Come on in. I love seeing this, because this is pressure for the federal government to get off of their duff. I mean, they get a check. They're getting a check every month. Nothing's getting done. Just more meetings. More meetings. We need another meeting. We need another hearing. Well, Virginia says we don't. They will now allow banks to offer crypto custody services. This is a huge step forward. Let's take a look at this now. Let me get this open for us here. Now, I wanted to go to this because this is an older post from 2017 that Real XRP Boy shared here. And David is no stranger to switch flipping, And the reason I decided to share this is because we see that Virginia is allowing banks to custody crypto and to offer crypto services. This is a huge step forward. One state will fall, two states will fall. The federal government is going to get the clarity that we need. Make no mistake about it. It is coming. And it's coming for the reasons that Christine Lagarde cited for the European Central Bank. It's the same for everyone. In order to remain relevant, powerful, and in control, they're going to have a way to monitor the on and off ramps. Now, in this comment, he talks back in 2017. I want to read this to you. Where he said at that time in 2017, he thinks that we're right at that critical point now where we start a pivot, some customers to XRP for some corridors. We have enough adoption, enough value and liquidity in XRP that's realistic. Qualix is, so far, the only announced partnership of this type at that time. The main limiting factor right now is everyone having enough confidence that the system is going to work correctly, that they're willing to flip the switch and let it make large, irreversible payments without intervention. Now, we have seen countless times, just like Victoria Cleland, executive director at the Bank of England, talk about they will let the old system run parallel to the new system when they flip the switch and do a big bang cutover. So if there is any problem, they will be able to revert back to the old system, which is running in parallel for a period of time, let's say 6 months or so, right? Well, that flip the switch is really, we're going to get a look at what flipping the switch may look like, but we're no stranger to hearing it. Listen to Brad say it, and then I'm going to show you something.
We started building RippleNet with the thesis that crypto liquidity would eventually be able to support robust global payments, large payments. RippleNet was designed so that customers seeing the benefits of our fiat-based network could flip the switch to ODL once the market was mature enough. And this is exactly what's happening.
This is exactly what's happening. That was the most recent swell event just at the end of last year, just a few months ago. This citizen of the future who shows us he put a couple more hours into researching combining what the community shared on Valente Tech, which is a partner to Ripple and the use of XRP. He created a massive helicopter view of the connections of Valente ecosystem from things in this thread. Now just take a look at this for a second. We're not going to go through it all, but this all has at different times been things that we have reported on about the partnership between Volpay, Valente Pay, right? Or Valente Volpay and Ripple and Earthport and Visa right here. Distributed blockchain networks, ISO 20022. We know all of these things, right? We see here RippleNet XRP payments as a service right here. ISO interoperable payment messaging to go along with it, for which they're on the standards body committee. Along with XLM, Stellar, the only two digital asset companies to actually be on that committee, in fact, right? But you see the connections that are going on here. And when I think back to 2017, David Schwartz using the term and the phrase afraid to flip the switch to really try this new system out, I don't think they're afraid to flip it anymore because it's 2022. And just recently as last year, Brad Garlinghouse is talking about being prepared to use on-demand liquidity for large value payments. Just as David remarked in 2017, they were scared to do it that time. Looking at these connections, I understand that no matter what's going on with the case, it's going to be resolved. And it will be a situation where Ripple, XRP, and the XRP ledger are the most vetted digital asset product on the planet. And once it is, I do believe they're going to flip the switch. And this is just one peep in a little window of what that will look like. Take a look on the close and immediate front here, which is Dark Defender, who tells us what to look for. He did tell us yesterday that, if the cup and handle formation finishes its pattern, it will take us to $8.50. But in the immediate near term, he says here on the daily charts using the Elliott wave,
I'm your guy. I will keep you posted. I'm your advocate. I'll be back on a daily basis, usually multiple times per day, with these videos to keep you updated with everything going on. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you haven't done so, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Feel free to share any of my videos with your friends, family, social media, or anybody who may care to listen. Thanks so much for your continued support. I'm always here for you. I want to help you through this time. So thank you so much for continuing to choose me. Enjoy your day, stay safe, and I'll catch you again probably in a couple hours. Thanks, everybody. See you later.